This is Raj from Canada, and he's absolutely blowing the competition away out there, man. Dude, do you remember when you came to me first? And if like we line those calls up, like where you first came to me versus
Hmm.
like where you're at now, dude, like, bro, they would be like, this is a different person.
Oh yeah.
Like, so much has happened, so much growth has happened. Like we said, the interview's been like long overdue.
Oh
But
yeah.
dude, where should we even start with this, man? Like, what happened? What changes happened? Where were you before, man? Like, we have so much to cover, bro. Where
Oh
should
yeah,
we go from
dude.
here?
So I think we should start from the very beginning when I first found you.
The origin story. Okay, let's
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. I feel like we got to start from the bottom and work our way up to the progression than who I am today.
Let's do it, man. Start
Yeah.
from the foundations, then. Let's hear it.
So do you remember when you used to not do like any group calls? You didn't have the Slack or anything. You just had the Instagram and like
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
weekly, I think it was the weekly calls.
Mm-hmm.
So I first found you because everybody around me was like kind of dating here and there, and I was like, dude, what's wrong with me? Like, why is no one coming up? And then when I think it was like I think it was like a 24-year-old. She was a trainer, super hot,
Mm-hmm.
um, brunette with like green eyes. I was like, and I was like, man, like I gotta ask for her number. And I remember I was
Mm-hmm.
training, I was getting ready to like gain some muscle. I was with the trainer at the time. He was a military. He was like, oh, you gotta do it, man. You gotta, otherwise you're gonna regret it. I was like, yeah. I never got to the point of doing it because I was always like, oh, what do I say? Like,
Right,
how
right,
should I
right.
say? Like, it's always that like that second thought that your brain naturally does, just to like,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't like doing that. So I think it was on yeah, I was on Instagram and then I was like, Selna Kim, who is this guy? And then I just see like, I just saw like a bunch of like hate comments. Like they were just shitting on you saying like, just saying like, this guy doesn't know anything. This guy is like, who is this guy? Like this and that. I was like, man, like they really just don't like this guy. Like, so I just clicked on one of the videos. I instantly was like, wow, this guy just blew up my mind.
Bro, I love that, dude. Hey,
Yeah.
as the old saying goes, man, haters are my employees. So it's like I get a lot of haters, man, but it's kind of like what Drake said in that one song. He's like, I don't make music for people that don't get pussy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't make videos for people that are kind of just soft and weak and get offended by everything.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I remember I was like watching, and I just binge watched your videos as soon as I was done training. I was like, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. So I said, I got nothing to lose. I might as well give it a try. So then I was just her saying what you were saying. It's kind of like, okay, do this, have a straight back, fix my posture, was stretching out my posture. Because I didn't want to go over there, but the slouch back, like, hey, you want to go out?
Right, man. Yeah, it's like you're not getting anywhere with that.
No, 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 no. And so she was like, hey, and then she introduced herself. We were talking for a little bit. I teased her a little bit. She didn't expect that. And then obviously it was like that, oh, how old are you? I was like, old enough. And then yeah, she finally agreed on going out. Everybody was super surprised. They're like, why this guy, this guy? And then I remember we were on the date and she fucking loved it. She was like, dude, no one really does this. And it's always like the key details, that little advice I always give, like, especially now to the Slack people who reach out. I'm like,
Hmm.
pay attention to the smallest details.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I was like, man, I was still a virgin at the time. And I was like, oh man, like, she was like, oh, I really like a guy with like, who's in a flannel.
Oh,
I
I
really,
think this was like right when you joined, right? Or was this right
yeah.
before? I can't remember. I think it was right when you joined, right?
Right when I joined.
Okay, yeah, that make I remember. I think I remember this exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's like, oh, I like a guy with the flannel. And who just like, because she was also like trying to lose her V card too. And she's like, I don't want to give it to anybody. I want to make sure it's memorable. And I
I
go,
remember that. I remember this. Yeah.
yeah. And I
This is great.
remember, and then we were just having a really good time. I was teasing. We went to the arcade. I was making a competition. We were axe throwing. I was like, "Is that the best you got?" And you're trying to beat me? Like,
Yeah.
and I remember she grabbed my hand and she's like, "Man, I don't know how to throw an axe." I was like, "Well, I do give out session. I do give out training, but this one I'll put on the house." So I just remember just
Nice.
grabbing her hand, one hand on the hip, and we just tossed it and we got a bullseye. And she's like, "Oh my God, I never did that." I was like, "Well, I guess you just had your lucky charm with you."
Nice, dude. Just so smooth the whole time, man.
Oh yeah. And then I was like, "Man, okay, let's see what I can do." I said, "Hey, you want to come back to my place?" And then she's like, "I have a little gift for you." And she's like, "What is it?" I was
Huh.
like, "Come on, what's the point of telling you if you're and not leaving it for the surprise?" And she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to." I was like, "Okay, I guess you're just gonna go
Yeah,
home and just be
your
boring."
loss.
Yeah, just be boring, and I'm just gonna hold on to your surprise, your gift until next time.
Nice.
And then she obviously came with intrigue. She was like, "Oh my God, what is it?" The entire car ride, she's like, "Is it this? Is it this?" I was like, "You're getting close, but not just right there." And then she's like, "Okay, tell me." And what she really told me that I like using is like the hot and cold. Like,
Mm,
so she's like, "Oh, is it something to do with lumberjack?" And I was like, "Warmer." And she's
lumberjack.
like,
That's an interesting guess.
"Yeah, because she liked that lumberjack movies, like those like acts, like those are like little hair, like what's it called? It's like an old like cartoon movie." I was like, "Oh, something
Okay,
to do with
yeah.
the," and then I was like, "You're warmer." And she's like, "Is it something to do with rematching axe throwing?" I was like, "That was a brutal domination by me. I don't think we need to go through that again." But
Yeah.
warmer.
I bet she slapped your arm. She was like, "Shut
Oh
up."
yeah. She's like, "Shut up." And then, and I just came into the room. And then candles were already lit because I already did that prior to it. And I was like, "Hold on, man. Let me get your surprise to sit right here." And it was just
Oh, this
me.
this was when you got the Jaguar, right? Like you just got the
Yeah.
Jaguar. You were cruising around. It was like a white Jaguar you got, man. Sexy ass
Yeah.
car, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, okay, yeah. Please continue, man. My bad. Didn't mean to ruin the
Yeah.
entire story, but this is going. This is good.
No, no, no. I think we're just leaving for this listener suspense. So,
Hmm.
and so I came in with like a flannel, like a red flannel with like half sleeves cut. And I was, I was bulking. So like the biceps and triceps were pretty big.
For
And
sure.
then
Hmm.
I was like, "Well, here's your surprise." And then she opened her eyes. She's like, "Oh, you remember?" I was like, "Oh, of course I did." I was like,
It
"It's
was
your
the
special."
flannel, wasn't it?
Yes. And it was because she remembered the final that I never, and I believe, I shit you not, I have never seen someone this horny before in my life. She
What do you
would,
think caused her to get that horny, man? Was it just the fact that like you remembered and it flattered her?
yeah, I believe it's something, yeah, because it's like the smallest little details, like, because
Hmm.
usually like majority of like guys, they always be like, "Oh yeah, that's whatever." But like the
Right.
smallest details, especially because she was trying to lose her V card, made it memorable.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, like
So,
it matters so much, man. Like the small
yeah,
details. Most guys are like, oh, fuck it, whatever, and skip over it. But
yeah,
it's like she wants the guy that remembers that. She's like, oh, this is the guy that's gonna fuck me real good.
yeah. And oh my God. And then when I took the monoxide, those pills we were talking about, first time
Yeah,
you,
it's not the
and
gas station pills, by the way. If someone's like, oh,
no,
they're taking the Rhino pills at Shell gas station. No, bro, don't take
no,
those. It's something else. I
no,
can't talk about it
yeah,
publicly.
yeah, no,
That's
no,
exclusive just for the guys in the program. But yeah.
yeah, yeah. If you want to know, click that link for that program.
So, anyways, yeah, like you did that. I remember I still have the screenshot you sent me of when you're like, "Hey, bro, the V card's no longer with me." But anyways, yeah, please
Yeah,
continue.
yeah, yeah. And she was just nonstop going and going and going. And I was like, "Whoa." And she's like screaming my name. She's on the top of her lungs. I remember we woke up the next day and then she's like, and I was like, And she got out of bed. I was like, okay, I guess she left. And then she's like, Raj, come down. And she made me some like eggs and bacon with like warm cup of coffee.
You
And I
fucked her
was
so
like,
good, she turned into a wife, man.
yeah. She's like, where's my ring?
That's
And
fucking hilarious.
yeah, it's hilarious. And I was like, wow. It's like, she's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I washed your flannel. I didn't want to get it ruined with my makeup. I was like, what's your gift? You don't want to rub off the luckiness off. And then she's like, my, like, 'cause she had a boyfriend and he never got the chance to do it. She's like, my boyfriend at the
Poor
time
guy.
never, poor guy struck out.
That sucks.
Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, he never bothered doing this stuff. He always wanted to do it in the car, but never what you did. I'm like, what makes you different? I was like, well, if I told you that, I would have to kill you.
Nice. Dangling it
But
right in front of her face.
yeah, and she's like, wait, what? I was like, I'm just teasing you. But this coffee is really good.
That's
Cause
so good.
she put those like little lemon drops you can get from like Amazon. Oh, so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I didn't know you were a coffee guy like that, man. I am too.
Yeah, I love coffee, man. It's getting an addiction, but
Unfortunately, it has for me too. Yeah, caffeine
yeah,
really became an addiction this year. I was like, damn it. But I love it at the same time as I sip
yeah.
caffeine. So dude, that's the I invented like side story, man. Like I found that because my friend was he I don't even know what he was, man. It was something like with like supplements and shit like that. And he like we it was funny, man, because we were both having I don't want to say who it is. He's in my book. It's one of the guys. If he was watching, he'd be like, oh yeah, he's talking about me. But we both had this problem, dude, where we were dating. We just started talking to just really hot chicks, bro. Like the one I was talking to, I talked about the program. She had like 200,000 followers on Instagram. Like she was banging, dude. Like Coles players were in her DMs. And my friend was dating like it was like a cheerleader for some team, and they were both hot chicks, but we hadn't like had sex with them yet. And
Mhm.
we both went to Illinois one day, and we both just sat down. I was like, bro, I gotta be real with you for a second, dog. I've been having a problem. Either I can't get it up sometimes 'cause I'm too nervous, or I come too quick. And he was like, dude, the same thing's happening to me. And I was like, no fucking way, man. It was like, 'cause I was like, fuck, dude. What if he's like, damn, that sucks, bro. You're just a weak man. You know what I mean? But I feel like every guy goes through that at least one point in their life. Like they don't want to get in bed with a chick like that and just like nut in 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, man. And so like he found this combo with like some like just like on the shelf stuff. Obviously, we can't say what it is. That's like classified information, right, for the
Yeah.
program. But like we take it, dude, and bro, it was nuts, man. It was like you were swinging like Thor's hammer in your pants, bro. And she was like like she's just like fucking like convulsing at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like your girl's making bacon and eggs, dude. Like you did it so good, man. She turned into a fucking wife, bro. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah. It's hilarious, man.
So what happened from there, bro? Like you obviously lost your B card. I think you
Mhm.
dated her for a little while, right? But it didn't work out.
Yeah. So this is where, yeah, we start talking, and then obviously, things people started to notice. So like a couple like a gym bro noticed like, hey, like, what are you guys? I was like, we're
Oh,
just,
the guy started getting into it, man. The cock
yeah,
blocker.
yeah, like, cause I guess he liked her, and I was like, okay, like, I was like, we're just really good friends. And then,
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, he went over to her and says, Ross says you guys are really good friends. But what friend makes bacon and eggs and coffee for him? I was like, what kind of friends do you have?
Bro, that's and then he didn't he like try to break you guys up too?
Yeah, yeah. He tried breaking us up, and I was just like, I was like, dude, like, because she was like, dude, back off. Like, I'm just trying to spend time with him. And then I was just like, should I give you guys a minute? Should I? 'Cause I feel like this
Hmm.
is some brother sister thing going on right now.
That's funny, dude. That just totally
Yeah.
just fucked his entire game up.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
And then yeah, and then he starts getting a little insecure and starts saying insults like, "Oh, Raj, how do you know what Raj does for a living? Like he could be like a drug abuser, this and that." I'm just giggling in the side as I'm like sipping a cocktail. I'm like, this is not helping my case at all.
Right. It's like, oh,
Oh.
well, it's a virgin drink, maybe. Hmm.
And yeah, she was just like, "Can you leave, please?" This and that. She was just begging. I was just like, "Hey, tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, hey, like, I kind of like gave her a hug on the back. Oh, and then she's like, oh, and then she's like, I'm like, hey, I hate to break up the family reunion, but I got some reservation for her. You and your sister tend to, so I'll see you guys later." And then I just grab her hand and we just started walking into the car.
That's so good, man. That's so good. He just like pushed her right into your arms, like after that.
Yeah, yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," in the car ride. I was like, "It's okay." And she's like, "Oh no, I'll pay the bill." It's like, "Oh no, 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 I got it."
Hmm.
Because it's a steakhouse restaurant. Those things are not cheap.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah,
Especially if it's a nice one, dude. Like it's probably what, $50 at least per steak.
yeah. And
Canadian,
she's
that's
like,
what, 70?
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, dude.
And so, yeah, then we made it official. We were dating this and that. And then like her, you know, like, she was just like, oh, she started saying like, "Oh, you don't spend enough time with me." I was like, "Hey, like, I appreciate you telling me this, but like also work is like, I'm learning a lot from work. So I'm trying to not delay that, especially because now my company is starting to realize what I can do, what my capabilities are. I can travel and then I can put that money there aside for us to travel to like, cause like we talked about, like we wanted to go to New York, Dubai, all this stuff. I was like, hey, like right now it's going to suck, but later on it's going to be worth it.
Mhm.
And so she obviously like her friends influenced her like, oh, you should just break up with him. Like he's not really gonna, you know, take you there. He's just saying that just for you to like back off and this and that. You're like,
Wow, that's tough.
yeah, and it's just like, if you and obviously after we broke up, I was like, you know what? Honestly, if you couldn't make your own decisions and you had to have your friends make your decisions for you, I don't really want that long term.
Mm.
Because I want someone who makes their own decisions based on what they think is right for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so that's when, obviously it's like kind of downhill. My confidence went a little bit too low. It sucked. I was really, it was the first breakup, right? Like first breakups are gonna suck.
Terrible. Mm.
Yeah, so obviously like work started noticing my coworkers were like joking around, and I was like, hey, like I'm not really in the mood, like kind of like tougher now. And two of my really close coworkers were like, yo, what's going on? I was like, yo, we just kind of like broke up type shit. And then he's like, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna. And then I remember, them saying like, dude, like she broke up with you, her loss, like get back out there.
Sure.
Like, it only goes up the hill from now. And then that's when like, before COVID starts going. Like she obviously got into another relationship with the cock blocker. I was like, fair enough. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then obviously they start talking, and then she starts saying like hi, this and that. She obviously gave back the gift that I gave her. I was like, oh, you didn't need to do that. Like, I bought this for you. You can keep this. She's like, no, no, no. Like, you can have it back. It's pretty expensive. I was like, yeah, it was for you. I don't really like taking the gifts back, but sure, I'll just take it back. I still have it, so whoever is lucky enough will get it back.
Hmm.
And then yeah, started rolling. So started. dating multiple women. Like we started going out, started meeting like different personalities, personalities that I like, personalities I don't like. So there was some pros and cons to it.
Yeah, man. I remember when we like you lost the B card, and it's a really beautiful moment. It was really cool to just see like how far you came and like you did that. But
Hmm.
then it was like, okay, like you did that. It's almost like it was time to like go to like a different echelons as a man past that, where it was like, okay, you know what, I did that. Now it was like I feel like that moment, like even though it did suck when you guys broke up, because like you really loved the chick. At least
Hmm.
it sounded like it. I don't know. You didn't really tell me if you did or not, but I mean, you really cared about her at the very least, it seemed like. And it was just, it was a really sucky moment, but it was beautiful because I bet it taught you like so much and gave you like so much strength and also confidence to know like if you could do that with her, dude, like you can do that with any girl.
Oh yeah, 100% calm. After that, the confidence went higher than I expected. Like it just kept going and going and going,
Hmm.
and just like yeah, and we obviously ran each other in the club, and then she was just like, "Oh, how's it going?" And obviously, I I started like improving on my income, like and just like tried to
Hmm.
dress better, started like putting proper things, and she's like, "Whoa!" Like she's like, then she obviously like threw a little jab, as I say, like, "Oh, did you miss me, or are you still heartbroken?" I was just like, I was like, I just looked at her, I was like, "It's nice to see you, sis."
Ooh, ice
Yeah,
cold.
high school. I was like, because I was obviously with somebody else, and then
Right.
I was obviously we started talking, and she's like, "Who's that?" I was just like, obviously the girl who was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Oh, someone who's really addicted to me." I didn't expect her to find my location. Yeah, if you can handle this is perfect. But if you can't, we can just leave now. She, yeah, she
That's
can't.
hilarious.
It was so funny.
Yeah, you might as well use her to your advantage, man.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I have my ex, man. So it was funny, like the one that cheated on me, the one that fucked my best friend, that I told you about, that I wrote about in my book as well. Dude, I can see. So I moved into a new place, as you know, dude. Like I can see the hotel down there, like that she ended up cheating on this guy with me with, and I didn't realize that when I moved in here. It was like a month in. I was like, damn, that's the hotel. What the fuck? Not, I was like, but you know what's a symbol, and it was so similar to your story because like I started to become a promoter and I got super busy with that and I couldn't see her as much. And like even though, dude, like it's actually interesting because the more beautiful the girl, a lot of the time, like the more insecure she is as well, which I started to find out, which I thought was really fascinating because I thought it was going to be the exact opposite. I thought the more beautiful the chick, the more confident she was. It was actually like the more beautiful
Hmm.
the chick, I found like her insecurity also like rose with that. And I was like, wow, when you start to date these women, you start to see that and you're like, that is really interesting. That's not every single one of them, but it is a common pattern where it's like they actually are insecure a lot of the time. And it's like you can't spend as much time with them and you're building for your future with her. And she and her friends are in her ears saying, oh, he just doesn't care about you. He's fucking other women behind your back. When you're not, dude, you're working, bro. You're making money for the future, right? And
Hmm.
her friends were other hot women, other cheerleaders, etc. And they're in her ear like, oh yeah, this other guy, my best friend at the time, who I didn't know this was happening, but he's in her ear like, oh yeah, he flirts with other women. He's out flirting with other women at the clubs behind your back, dude. And she's over here like having this in her head, like maybe he is. And then suddenly I catch them, you know, in bed together. I'm like, what the fuck? So it really is interesting, dude, like how like her friends are really a big influence on her at the end of the day.
Yeah. Hmm. It's like that old saying. It's like whoever you surround yourself is who you become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's so many quotes around that, right? It's like you're the sum of the five people you hang around.
Hmm.
And there was also another one, man. It was about like I believe I talk about this at some point in the course. But there's like the fruit example where it's like if you have like a bowl of like five peaches, and then you put like a moldy peach in the bowl. The healthy
Mm.
peaches don't cure the moldy fruit. The moldy fruit makes it all moldy,
Yeah. Okay.
makes it all moldy, man.
All molded.
But you obviously like, dude, like you really just like you went through that breakup, went down a little bit, and then it
Mhm.
was like, let's just, and then you just catapulted up, man. I mean, what made you, I guess, like catapult back up, or was it multiple different things?
It was a multiple different things, but mainly it was just like I was like, I can't just let somebody who broke my heart, bring me down because it's just like a job interview, right? Like it's just like, oh, you're not always gonna get that job. You're not always gonna crush that interview. You just gotta go with a straight face and just be like, you're lost and move on with your life. It's like life is like a chapter, like a book. It's like this was like one chapter, now it's on to the next one. So, and it was just like, it was just like, I wasn't really going out as much. I was like in the gym, just grinding, just grinding. I was super, obviously when breakups, like you're upset, you're like super pissed off. Like everybody who interacted with me didn't interact with me for like that period of time because they were like, we can't get
Mhm,
them out of that like mode.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
it was as simple like working out, in and out. That's it.
Right, right.
So
When you, yeah, go ahead.
I was like, so yeah, ever since then, it's just like, buddies pulled me to the side. They're like, dude, like, she obviously isn't mature enough for you, but that doesn't mean everybody isn't. You just gotta find that person, and you will find that person. It just takes time, but you can't just sit at home and just do nothing and let that opportunity come to you. You have to like go out there and find it. Obviously, if it comes to me, that's great, but the chances of that are very low.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
In
when
fact, yeah, go ahead.
I was like, yeah. So that's when, started going out, started dressing better, started improving my like quality, obviously income, started putting that into like clothes, like started following trends a little bit, started upgrading my shoe collection. Obviously now I have a shoe collection now.
For real.
Oh yeah. It's
How many
slowly
shoes you got?
almost eight. My eight one is coming in.
Really? What's your favorite shoe?
I say Air Jordans, definitely the ones that the Chicago ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I have like these, I'll send you a picture later. They're like these like Miami. I've only worn them twice because I love them so much and they're so fucking rare. I forget what they're called, but they're like some kind of Air Nike and they're like Miami version. So it's like neon orange and like neon like turquoise. They're sick, bro. I gotta send you those, bro. I barely wear them though, because I'm just like, man, I just want to just look at them. I don't even want to wear them.
yeah. It's crazy because like even like how I like was like relapping what I was like doing before. It was definitely like a huge like mind thing. Like whoa, like I used to do this, now I'm doing this. Like certain little things don't even bother me as much as like when I first started going into this like whole dating like quote unquote game.
What made you like decide to go with me versus there's obviously other dating coaches out there and like other people that talk about dating relationships, but
Yeah.
like what made you be like, you know what, like this is the guy I gotta work with? And what was just going through your mind at the time?
So what mainly made like pick you, it was like it's just the consistency and just like, like obviously there's some red pill guys, there's like and stuff like that, like who I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah, I'm not
Like
either.
like I don't understand how like if you make a certain amount of income, like the women will naturally drift to you. I don't believe that. I don't think you should pick a woman that's interested in your wallet rather than your personality.
Mhm. I
Obviously,
totally,
my
totally agree.
yeah, like obviously the money is a good thing to have. Like obviously like, oh, you got a good paying job, da, 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 da. Like she's obviously thinking that for the future. If this works out, it's gonna be good for the future. But what mainly made like I saw a little bit of me in you. That's why I chose you.
Mm,
It was just like, dude, like this is not a dating coach. This is like one of the homies down the street.
hmm hmm
Yeah, like, and I saw like the progression. Obviously, you were like posting, like you were just like consistently posting and was having that book and just the consistency. And it was like, dude, this guy's driven for this stuff. This guy obviously cares like what's going on. Like, I have to choose. This is the guy. This is the guy who I could see myself becoming this like 12 out of 10. Where,
100%, man.
yeah.
You did. You did,
Mhm.
man. You are. I mean, look at your fucking neck right now, man. What is
Honestly,
that, bro? What is that?
listen,
Just a bad cat scratch, isn't it?
yeah, it's just a bad cat scratch. I thought they didn't exist, but vampires are real, man.
Apparently, dude. Wow. Dude, because like I agree with what you say. Like I don't consider myself red pilled, but I don't consider
Mhm.
myself like a blue pill. I don't even know what all this shit even means, bro. I'm
Yeah,
just the guy that just gets you guys results, man. Like I don't need to even categorize myself, man. I don't know what it is. Blue pill, there's black pill, apparently purple. I'm like, what even is all this, dude? Like Mace Windu, lightsaber purple? Like I don't know what this is, bro, you know? Like and it's like with red pill guys, man, like they just try to make you believe that, oh, like if you don't have six figures, if you're not 6 feet and you don't have 6 inches in your pants, then like you're fucked. And it's just not true, man. Like we had a dude join my program um about a couple months after you.
hmm,
And dude, so this guy was a professional consultant. He did numerology. I didn't even know what this was before this guy. But this guy's making like 80K a month doing consulting for numbers, telling people like what number they are. I was like, what? And he was getting friend zoned by women. It's like if he suddenly jumped his income from 80K a month, which is that's almost that's 1 million a year he was making.
yeah.
That's insane, right? Like for numbers and numerology. I was like, there's a need for that. But it's like, dude, if he just jumped his income to 100K per month, is that going to fix his women issues?
No,
It's like this just doesn't make sense.
yeah. And that's the thing too. It's just like even just like that whole like obviously there's some people who believe in that stuff. Even like talking to them, I just like try so hard not to cringe. I was like, dude, like, am I here to work out or not trying to cringe challenge? Like, what is this?
hmm
Like,
hmm
obviously, like with me, I only speak as when I need to speak. But like when they're talking to other people and be like, oh, you need to do this. I don't bother interrupting that because I'm just like, dude, like this is just gonna go to a back and forth of like just like who's right when I just don't have the time for that. It's like he clearly is if he take if he's gonna listen to this, by all means go ahead. Until he asks me like what should I do, then I'll give him my opinion.
Yeah, it's like you're arguing with a wall at that point because they want to believe it, right? It's like I don't
Yeah.
get why you're like some people just fight for a belief that doesn't serve them. Like this was really sad to see, man. We had this dude um who came to me from New York and he was a lawyer, made about 20K per month, and he was like, "Oh, it's just because I'm 5'8". That's why women don't like me." But then he's like talking in my DMs like a complete simp, like a beta male.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, like just women suck, and he's just like complaining the whole time. I'm just like, dude, is it the fact that you're short, or is it the fact that you're a pussy? Why you can't get women? He's like, I think I just need to adjust my dating app profile, and then things will improve. I was like, okay. He did that. Legend has it to this day, he's still struggling. But it's just sad to see that shit, man. It's like people fight for a belief that just doesn't serve them. Like they want to believe that, oh, it's because they're short.
Yeah, like even it's just like what's happening to one of my coworkers, like he got rejected by one of my friend we're close friends, like and
Miss
and
Marty.
oh, don't even get me started on this, Marty.
I
Wha- That's
don't
that's
think
just
she deserves to be on this call, yeah, in this interview.
no. We'll just say. we're no longer friends. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's her loss.
Yeah,
She's
her
silly.
loss.
Anyways, your friend gets rejected by your girl that's a friend.
Yeah, a coworker, and just like, obviously they were hanging out, but she never thought anything of it.
Hmm.
And yeah, and then she would have like a more better income, and then obviously her friend who joined the company, and then obviously when she rejected him, which I mean, fair enough. I mean, which you did. I was like, you did kind of give him signs. Like you went to his house for Thanksgiving dinner. No girl
Wow.
does that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you met
that's
you.
pretty big tell.
Yeah, like you met his parents. Like that's like a huge step. I mean,
Did he just have no game? Like, what happened with the dude? Like, because if she probably was interested if she went to his house, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she invited him over to his house. They played video games. It was just like, yeah, like the guy just like he's a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but like, dude, like this guy gets taken advantage of, and it's just like from a third
Mm,
person like perspective, it sucks to see that because like you want to say something, but then you know if you do say something and he says like, oh, Raj says this, it starts that whole like argument, which I don't have the time for.
don't have the time for that. I mean,
Yeah.
do you feel like, because if a dude's getting taken advantage of, the first time I get it, if you don't know, you're just like, you know
Hmm.
what? It's like the fool me once quote, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, do you
Yeah.
believe it's a him problem now that like he's getting taken advantage of?
Yeah, it's a him problem because I feel like, he quote unquote only had like one girlfriend and that was like 5 years ago. And and he hasn't really been
Yeah.
going on dates. So it sucks to see because like he obviously loves video games. He's not really going out. He's not really, I mean, he's not a bad looking guy. Like he's Italian. Like he's a good looking guy.
Yeah, man. They got
Like,
the nice olive skin, nice olive eyes, like or nice hazel eyes. Like they got nice complexions, man. No homo.
yeah, no homo.
But it's like that's like, dude, you can look good and still not get chicks too.
Yeah. And yeah, and then, obviously like when she rejects him, he starts going for their friend, starts like, you know, showing like really heavy signs of like, like I'm interested. Like
Mm-hmm.
obviously like she wasn't really feeling it. Like there was this one time, um, I guess like they were joking around and then like he put her arm around her neck, like kind of like over the shoulder, and then she kind of just was like, oh, don't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
then and then obviously that struck him a little bit, and then he was and it's just like, dude, like he's kind of following it right, but like he's also not looking for the signals too. Like what's her
Mm.
body language? What's her body language? Is she comfortable with me? Like, this you gotta like take it baby steps. You can't just like go straight for the home run.
Right.
You gotta go to
Right.
first base, second base, third base, and then, you know, it's just and it sucks to see,
Mm.
but like if he, if this is like obviously now he's taken advantage by a different chick. I'm like, dude, if this is the third time and you still haven't noticed this, like that's a you problem.
Because when you joined, right, like obviously there was like girls in the past, like you came to me, you're just like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on. They go cold on me. I can't even get the date sometimes. Like it was like, but it was like you're just like at the end of the day, you came to me. You came to me when you were 24, right?
No, no, no. I came to you when I was 19.
19. How old are you now again?
Yeah. I'm almost 24, so you got it
It's
right.
so fucking cool to see, man. Like how much growth
Yeah.
you've had. Like, and you've just been like a very consistent client too. Like, just been
Yeah.
crushing it. And like, okay,
Yeah.
so at 19, man, you came to me. You figured out a way to make this work. Time flies. And when you came to me at 19, dude, you were just like, okay, you know what? Like, obviously, what I'm doing is not working. But like, you didn't keep like doing the insanity quote. You didn't keep going like, oh, let me just keep doing the same thing. And hopefully
Yeah.
it works this time. Like, you were just like, once, maybe twice, and you were like, you know what? Like, something's got to fucking change here, dude.
Yeah.
And you came to me, we started working together, and then things changed pretty quickly.
They now they started doing the same thing. Raj, where are
Yeah.
you? Where are you?
Hmm. Yeah. What would you tell the guys like that who might be watching and they're just
Mhm.
like they're doing this like they're going into their 20s and their 30s and some are going in their 40s now, bro. And they've been doing the
Yeah.
same thing over and over again. They're like, "Oh yeah, maybe next time it'll work. Oh yeah, like that she just wasn't the right one. Maybe next time I'll get it." It's like, bro, it's you. But they don't want to admit that it's them and they need the help.
You know what? You gotta they gotta really take a look at themselves in the mirror and be like, if it doesn't work for certain, like if it doesn't work for one person, it doesn't mean it's gonna work for the second person.
Hmm.
So it's just like, like I'll say it right here. If you want to change, if you want to like be different from what you're already doing, like coming from me who used to like, Raj, can you pick me up this? Can you pick me up this? You
Oh
know,
boy, yeah.
yeah, and not expecting anything of it. Now it's like the exact opposite. It's like, Raj, I'm getting coffee. What, do you want to like you want a medium? You want a large? I was like,
Oh, it's
well,
so good, man. Such a good feeling.
yeah, it's like, like even like I already got like early birthday gifts from like one of the girls I'm talking to. Like it's like, it's like one of those water bottles for like working out that keeps your water cold no
Hmm.
matter what the weather is. If it's like the hottest day, the water's gonna still be cold.
Hmm. Hmm. That's
You know,
awesome.
it, yeah, and it's just like, like if you want to change, if you want like women to be addicted to you, I feel like, join this program, like I get cold-heartedly say that from being 19 to now almost 24, S- Selna hasn't changed. Like he's still consistent. Like even Moses is, obviously once you guys see Moses in the program, like these guys and Parker, these guys, want to see change. Like they're not expecting anything of it. They just want the only thing they're expecting is consistency and updates.
Hmm.
No, they don't expect a shout out. They don't expect anything like that. They just want to see you guys happy. And that's very rare to find.
Hmm. Yeah, it's such a great way to put it, man.
Yeah.
It's like because it's so true, man. And like also, it's like, dude, if a guy like, it's like if a girl goes cold on you once, okay, maybe you did something twice, okay, but it's like the 10th or 20th time, it's like it's not the chick at that point. Like it's a you problem. It's like
Yeah.
just fix it. You know what
Yeah.
I
And
mean?
like, yeah, and obviously it's not going to be a smooth sailing ride. Like even like now, like I still make minor mistakes, but like, hey, it's part of the learning process. Like even at the age that, even though I'm still part of this, like I'm still part of this program, I'll still make mistakes and I'm going to learn from them. But you got to keep in mind, there's billions and billions of like women out there that have yet to meet you. You know, don't get stuck onto one chick. If she doesn't like you, her loss, like let her find out the hard way.
Absolutely. Where are you at
Yeah.
today, man? Like what's been like the biggest transformation you've made? Because obviously before girls going cold, rejecting, couldn't even get to the date, whatever the case was. Now it's like almost like a night and day difference. Like what are the goals now? Like where are you at?
So the goals now is continue to post and continue being consistent. I do have a win that will be coming this Sunday for my birthday.
Oh, happy early
So
birthday, man. What's the win this,
appreciate
or is it gonna be a surprise?
it's going to be a surprise. Like, obviously once I blow out that last candle, I'll drop it in the chat.
Oh my. Is it a
Yeah.
potential relationship coming or something else?
It's
Or maybe
something
both?
like it could be, if it pulls off, it'll be good. Like, especially now, like people don't think I'm 24. People think I'm like in my like early 30s, which is like, I take it as a compliment because most guys are like, oh, I'm not 30. I'm not 30. Like, what makes you say that? I just say, hey,
Dude, you look good, man. Like you've made a lot of appearance changes, dude.
oh yeah.
Like, yeah, bro. But yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah. It's just like, like this is from like a 33 year old.
Oh man, she couldn't stay away from you, dude.
No, even, no, expect it, you know. So yeah, I'll be dropping a win this Sunday. Obviously, I've been keeping Moses and waiting for a little bit. I've been teasing him a little bit. So
I
I
know
think
he's
that
like,
he's
dude, drop it, bro. Tell us.
tell us. So he's definitely been patient with me.
100%, man. I mean, we like, dude, time flies, dude. It's already, we only have a couple minutes left already. It's like
Yeah.
talking to you is like, whoop, just time just zips by, man. It's
Shit's
crazy. So, in the last couple minutes, man, like, would do you have anything else to like include? Like, anything about the program, anything about what you would tell a guy who's maybe just fearful to do this? Like, do you have anything else to add about, uh, your experience, just recommendations of what, what to expect or anything like that?
So my experience with the program has been phenomenal. Obviously, don't expect results right away. Take it as a learning curve. Take notes, join the calls, interact with different people, share. A win doesn't have to be with you just like, going on a date. It could be like a win of you like talking to somebody, not even getting a phone number, but breaking that like, like that fearful mindset and just being that confidence, like I own a business type attitude. Like I'm a stone cold killer attitude. Like my recommendation is just have fun in the program, interact with different people, join the meetings. If you can't join the meetings, drop a question, you know, take the risk to join the program. Because if you take the risk, you will be rewarded with the results that you're looking for. You have to take a risk. And I can say this right now as a soon to be 24-year-old who joined this program at the age of 19. I can wholeheartedly say it is that and I'm going to continue to have fun in this program, interacting with different people. I don't regret it one bit.
Percent. Dude, like it took you because like the first week, like nothing was really happening. The second week, nothing was really happening. And then around the third week, if I remember correctly, it was like, oh, it started to connect,
Mhm.
And then around that fourth week, it was like, oh shit, like something happened. Like, so you're talking to a chick now. Like, okay, things are going somewhere. And it really like it was almost like this. It was like very flat, and then something, whoop, just hockey sticked up.
Oh yeah.
On like that week three to four mark. It was like it took a couple weeks, yeah.
Mhm.
And some guys come in, they crush it the first week, great. But it's like, like if it takes an extra 2 or 3 weeks just to get that result, man, like, dude, it's worth it. It's worth waiting, what, years upon years of going through rejections like your friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's like just in my opinion, man, I would much rather just invest in myself so I can just save myself time.
Oh yeah. 100%.
And
Because if if you want, you got to take a risk to get what you want. And yeah, like, I, especially now in my like 24 ages, like I can cold-heartedly say it. This is why she does this, is that she thinks I'm a threat to other people. And so she's marking her territory.
have people noticed that, by the way?
Oh yeah.
What do they say to you?
There's like they're like, tell me the stories of like, you know, I can't tell you before, unfortunately. I I was writing a book about it. I left the book at home. It's not done yet. And it's just like I can't, I'm like because especially now because like a lot of people I'm more mysterious. I don't really like share this info. Unless it's like a close friend, then I'll just be like, hey, this is what happened. And they'll be like, sick, dude. That'd be nice. So like, but now it's just like, like even like now, especially like buddy's girlfriends are still, they're like, what does Raj do? Like,
Right.
what does he like? Cause we just see him like once a while in a blue moon coming out like with like nicely dressed and just like interacting like, and it's hard to, they still think it's hard to believe that, but I'm almost 24. Yeah. They think, cause they're like, oh yeah, his maturity level's like next level. Like they're laying up their friends to me without me even asking them to.
Yeah. Like, dude, you've absolutely like just grown so much.
Yeah.
And I'm just super stoked for you, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so cool to see that, dude, and just like the transformations that you've made in just relatively just a short amount of time. it's just so cool to see, man. It's so cool to see like where you're going. And I just want to say, man, like I'm grateful for you, man. Thanks for coming on, and dude, thanks for trusting in me and taking action to even do this back all those years ago. It's like, imagine where you'd be if you didn't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, I wanted to say like thank you. Like obviously you saw something that I didn't see myself and like you took that like risk and I can wholeheartedly say thank you. And obviously I'll send you a message, but obviously, I want to send you a little gift for a little Canadian boy.
Bro, I would fucking love that, man. Yeah, dude, I would
Yeah,
love that, man. I got a gift behind me from Dan, dude. He like designs prototypes for like games, and he was like, "Bro, just here's this prototype." I was like, "Dude, I can't wait to try it out, man." Dude, I love client gifts, bro. So
yeah,
yeah, man, I'll be forever grateful, man. If you sent me that, dude, I'd cherish it
yeah.
forever.
And
Especially
I'm
coming
gonna,
from you, man, I'd cherish it forever.
yeah, this is only the beginning, and I'm still gonna post wins. I'm still now my goals now has been like helping other people. Kind of reply more. Obviously, work has been kind of hectic, but now I'm going to start making time to reply to everybody, drop like little suggestions of like how to do things, make sure the other guys are good. Cause like I know where I was there at one point and it's only right if I reward them. And so they can join me of being a 12 out of 10 guy that I know they can be.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Dude, we'll keep crushing it, bro, and we'll probably do another one, man. Here
Yeah.
soon, I'm sure if you get into a relationship, whatever, man, we'll do another one and run that. But
Oh
dude,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, man, for coming on. And dude, I really appreciate you. And let's keep getting those W's, man. Just keep growing, okay?
All right. I'll do it. Thanks, man.
Awesome, brother. Hey, message me. I'll love that gift too, man. But we'll talk
Yeah,
after about that. Dude, thank you so much for coming on, bro. And let us know if you need anything in the future, okay, man?
for sure. Thanks, man.
Thank you, bro. Talk soon.
Peace.
Peace.